Hello and welcome. I'm Alan Thompson, hardest working realtor in West Volusia, and I'm here with Rosa Reyes. Hey Rosa, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do?
All right. Yes, my name is Rosa Reyes, as you said. I work with Home Team Lending as a loan officer, and my job is to help people achieve the American dream of home ownership.
Excellent. That's a fantastic job to have. I'm assuming that you talk to a lot of new buyers who have never purchased before. Do you do that?
Yes, definitely.
Are they nervous at all when they call you?
Of course. Um, I I noticed that a lot of people don't actually understand the process of buying a home. And it's especially scary being a first-time home buyer when there are so many rules and hurdles that these people have to overcome to become a homeowner. So yes, definitely. I try to educate the buyer um, the best that I can to make them feel more comfortable.
That's perfect. Can you tell me a little about what a new buyer might expect the first time they call you? What can they expect? What kind of questions are you going to ask and what are you going to ask for?
Okay. So the first time that we speak, I try to ask basic pre-qualification, excuse me, pre-qual. It's
Pre-qualification questions, right?
doing so well. Okay. Pre-qualification questions such as what price range are you looking at? Is this going to be your primary home? Do you have 2 years of work history? Income questions such as are you salary or an hourly employee? Are you self-employed? Um, things along those lines. Are you renting? How's your credit? Um, how are you going to pay for your down payment or closing costs? Things like that. And then, of course, we would have to check their credit to see where they are at and what different programs they qualify for.
That's perfect. So, what if somebody doesn't have very good credit? Are you still able to help them or at least work with them in some way?
Yes, of course. Not everyone has great credit. And it's my goal to, again, educate the buyer or consumer as much as I possibly can. So, yes, there are certain steps that they can take, such as paying down revolving balances to less than 30%, trying to remove any late payments um, by playing with the creditor and possibly negotiating like automatic payments and asking to raise your credit limit with the accounts that you already have. That's a good one. Um, and then, of course, charging small amounts onto cards that you don't use very often and paying it off on time. So those are, a few things that you can do to increase your credit score within the next 30 days. And of course, if that doesn't get you to the credit score that you need to be, then there are credit repair services that I refer the buyer to.
Okay. So, you can help them though with those little steps on which credit cards maybe to pay off so that they know, because most people probably don't look at their credit statement every month and go, oh, I'm at 30% or I'm at 60%. Are those steps that you can help them with when you pull their credit?
Yeah, of course. Of course. And I like to send the credit report to the buyer as well. That way they have some sort of reference and they know what accounts to pay attention to.
Okay. And you mentioned you're going to ask them if they currently own or if they're renting or what their living situation is. Can you tell me a little bit about why that's important?
Yes. So if they are in the market for a primary home, there are certain programs that they qualify for, such as, let's say, government loans like USDA, where We offer 100% financing, or FHA loans, where they only have to come up with 3.5% of the sales price as a down payment. Now, if it's an investment home or a secondary home, there are different requirements. They don't qualify for government loans at that point. So we would have to go conventional, and for an investment property, they have to come up with a higher down payment. Yes, it's very important.
Okay. So let me ask for, like, especially a renter who's in a lease and maybe their lease is up in 2 or 3 months, or maybe it's up in 6 months. How far out should somebody contact you if they've decided at the end of their lease they want to purchase a property instead of continuing on that lease?
I always say that the more notice, the better. For instance, if your lease ends in 2 months, start the process then. Because what if you do have credit challenges and we have to work on increasing your credit score and it doesn't change for 30 days? Those are that you have to consider. And then, of course, the process typically takes 30 to 45 days to close the deal. So, yes, give yourself time. That is my best advice.
So if they have credit challenges, they could be 30 days just trying to fix the credit or more, and then it could be 30 to 45 days once they actually find that house to close on it. So if I were going to buy coming outside of my lease, but I just signed a 1-year lease last month, would that be too early to call you 11 months before I think I'm going to start the process? Or would that be okay to at least meet up with you and get to know you a little bit and kind of identify some of those challenges? What's your opinion on that?
I don't think that it's too early. If their ultimate goal is to be a homeowner in a year, it's good to know what you have to do to achieve that goal. So if they have no idea what their credit score is, or they don't know how much they need for clothing, then it would give them the opportunity to start saving to do what they have to do to achieve that goal.
Okay, so that could actually put them in a better position doing it 11 or even 12 months out, because they might be able to save up enough money with, if they budget correctly, that they wouldn't have to ask the seller for help with closing costs, and they might position themselves better than somebody else who has the same down payment but has to ask the seller for closing costs then, right? Okay.
I definitely agree.
Okay. And then if there are any credit challenges, they could also work on boosting that credit score. You could look at their credit that far out and kind of make that determination on what they should do. One of the big concerns that I hear about from people is they're really worried about what documentation they're going to need from you, or not from you, but for you on that first phone call when they first call you. So what would somebody need when they first call you?
So during the first call, you don't need any documents. We are eventually going to send a list of documents needed to get you pre-approved. And those documents are 2 years of W-2s, your most recent pay stubs, most recent bank statements, 401k if you're using that for a down payment, things like that.
Okay. So when somebody sends those documents to you, though, is that making a commitment that I'm going to have to follow through and get a loan from you?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Realistically, you can become pre-approved
Mhm.
by many loan officers. So the initial commitment is when you log the loan, which is you choose the interest rate that you want to have for the duration.
Okay. And then can you think of anything else that I may have missed that you want to share with somebody who's getting ready to make that first call to you?
To offer some reassurance. I know that the process seems very scary, and it's almost like embarking into the unknown.
Yes.
But when you have right loan officer and realtor working for you, it really does make a difference. Our jobs as professionals is to keep your best interest at heart and make sure that you're as educated as possible before you make any decisions.
That's
That's
perfect.
all I got.
I remember, I was going to say, I remember the first time that I went in for the loan, and I was actually, I was too stupid to even be scared. I didn't, I just was like, oh, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy that house right there. I've already found the house, and I'm just going to go get a loan. Boom, done. And yeah, it was, when I had that confidence, it was a lot easier, but I don't necessarily portray that confidence today. I don't know what happened to that young, stupid guy. Sometimes he needs to come down. So, well, Rosa, I thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. Yeah. Hey, real quick, how does somebody reach out to you if they want to give you a call to make an application?
All right. Well, my phone number is 407-575-7864. You can call me day or night. I am available. Also, social media on Facebook, and if you need me, sure, you can find a way to find me. I'm all over the place.
And I can definitely find you. So if they need to reach out to me, I can make sure they find you. And I'll also make sure that the contact information for you is in the comment section below. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have an awesome day.